Hey, what's up everyone, CTNtechnologynews here, and today I'm doing a review of Splatoon for Wii U, which is actually the very first online shooter for the console. Now, as you might expect, this game is actually the very first of its class for Nintendo. For years people have been suggesting that the company should make the equivalent of an online shooter, and paintballing does seem the obvious way to avoid too much violence. But Splatoon actually goes a lot further by making the paint an intrinsic part of the gameplay, and it also makes it a way to ensure that you can still have a meaningful impact on a match, even if you can't shoot straight. So to try and ease people into the world of headshots and killing sprees, Splatoon actually makes excellent use of the Wii U gamepad. The default control system only allows you to look left and right with the right stick, but looking up and down is aimed by fine motion controls. That probably doesn't sound too appealing to you if you've played first-person shooter games like Halo or Call of Duty, but it actually works extremely well. Motion controls are intrinsically more accurate than analog sticks, and one of the great failures of the Wii era is that almost no games took advantage of this. But anyways, once you get past the learning curve, you'll actually really begin to enjoy this game. As I already said, Splatoon is a third-person 4 vs 4 online shooter, and you don't fire bullets or kill anyone, you actually play as squid-like inklings who splat each other in paint. Despite the unrealistic setting, Splatoon is the equivalent of many categories of weapons, including the equivalent of submachine guns, assault rifles, shotguns, and sniper rifles. There are also some specialty weapons though, most obviously the paint rollers, which you can use to run people over. You'll also get a range of sub-weapons that include various types of grenades, and things like a fountain of paint to hide behind, a mobile respawn point, and a sensor for detecting enemies. In the game, you're constantly switching between squid mode and humanoid mode, and you can do this with the press of a button. As a humanoid mode, you obviously try and paint the entire place in ink, which allows you to win the game for your team, but as a squid, you have a number of special different abilities. You can swim through your own color of ink at great speed, and even vertically up a wall, allowing you to outmaneuver and ambush enemies. You can also slip through gratings, allowing you to pass through walls or flooring at will. You can also get different clothes in the game store, which give you traits like the ability to survive longer in enemy ink, or even the ability to be invisible while in squid mode. Now unfortunately, the big downside to Splatoon right now is that there really isn't much variety in the game. The main 4 vs 4 mode, which I already mentioned, is called Turf War, and the other online modes include... Oh wait, that's right, there aren't any others. Incredibly, Splatoon is just one mode and 5 maps, only 2 of which are ever in use at once. You can't even change the time limit from a standard 3 minutes, and there are also no communication options of any kind. It's basically just a Mario Kart style option to play with friends that are already online. While there is a King of the Hill mode for ranked players of level 10 and higher, a 2-player offline mode where you can compete to see who can shoot the most balloons, and a fairly substantial single-player mode, it just doesn't add as much to the game as you might expect, since most of these features are reused in the multiplayer anyways. The cartoon presentation and use of color are excellent, the character designs are fun, and the soundtrack does just as well as the visuals at giving the game its own distinct personality, especially compared to any of Nintendo's other titles. But the problem just keeps coming back to the lack of content available in-game. Nintendo will be releasing an update at some point that will have new stages, weapons, and ranked modes, but for now I would definitely recommend Splatoon as a very limited scope online shooter game that delivers on what you expect and not much more. But give me your opinions on Splatoon in the comments below, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.